The government will introduce a straightforward bill on triggering the process for leaving the European Union within days. Brexit Secretary David Davis said the Supreme Court's ruling that Theresa May needs the approval of Parliament to trigger Article 50, the formal mechanism for leaving the European Union, will not derail the PM's timetable. In a statement to MPs, Mr. Davis said the judgment did not affect the fact Britain will be leaving the EU in line with the result of last year's referendum, saying, "There can be no turning back." The point of no return was passed on June 23 last year. Speaking in the Commons, Mr. Davis said the most straightforward bill possible would be introduced to give effect to the decision of the people and respect the Supreme Court's judgment. The purpose of the legislation will be simply to give the government the power to invoke Article 50 and begin the process of leaving the European Union, he told MPs. Mr. Davis said, "Parliament will rightly scrutinise and debate this legislation, but I trust no one will seek to make it a vehicle for attempts to thwart the will of the people or frustrate or delay the process of exiting the European Union." He added, "This is not about whether or not the UK should leave the EU. That decision has already been made by the people of the United Kingdom. We will work with colleagues in both houses to ensure this bill is passed in good time for us to invoke Article 50 by the end of March." Labour has said it will not frustrate the invocation of Article 50, meaning Mrs May should have little difficulty getting a bill through Parliament. However, the PM is at risk of having her hands tied in negotiations because opposition MPs will try to insert conditions into the legislation. The SNP has said it will table 50 serious and substantive amendments alone. Shadow Brexit Secretary Sir Keir Starmer called on the government to produce a formal white paper on its Brexit plans, rather than relying on the PM's speech at Lancaster House earlier this month. "You can't have a speech as the only basis for accountability for 2 years or more," he said. Sir Keir said the judgment was a good day for parliamentary sovereignty, but dismissed the government's decision to take the case to the Supreme Court as a waste of time and money. Indicating that Labour would try to make changes to the legislation, he told MPs, "On issues as important as this it would be wrong for the government to seek to minimise the role of Parliament and to avoid amendments.